bead friends, I'm back with a new tutorial. Today we will be continuing our journey in the wire world with our Zaira necklace, which is inspired from an original tutorial of the Zaira earrings that you can see here. This tutorial has been very successful and it has been much loved, and I realized the necklace version a few months ago. You've seen it on me, and many of you who are beginners asked me to have a quick tutorial to see the little changes that are needed to make the necklace version. So here's a quick tutorial to show you how to make the necklace if you want to. So for today's project, you will need 100 faceted crystals, spheres that are squished on both sides, so we call them briolets, size 3 by 4 millimeters. You will need 20 for each circle. My necklace is composed of 5 circles, so 100 pieces. Then you will need 5 circle or jump rings that are closed, and the diameter of these circles is 22 millimeters, so more or less 0.86 inches. Then you will need 2 pieces of chain of more or less 4.14 inch for the 2 sides of the necklaces. Then you will need a clasp composed of a jump ring, a lobster clasp, and a smaller jump ring. Then you will need 7 millimeter jump rings in a smaller size, and these you will need to connect the rings. So you will need 3, 6, 9, 12 plus 2 at the end, so you will need 14 pieces total. And that's all the material you will need as jump rings and findings go. Then you will need obviously some wire. We will be using size 26 gauge caliber wire in silver for the version that we will be making today. And you will need more or less 40 centimeters for each circle. Then you will need pliers. You will need flat pliers, round pliers, and a cutter to cut off your wire. And that's all the materials that we will need for today's project. I've pre-made my necklace, making the first 4 circles of my necklace in this mint green color we will be using with the silver. To make each ring, you will need 1 big ring of 22 millimeter diameter, 2 smaller 7 millimeter jump rings. These can be open, whereas the bigger one has to be closed. And then you will need 20 faceted semi-crystals, as the ones I'm using, 3 by 4 millimeters, which is the perfect size to go around the circle, as you will see. And then we will need the 40 centimeters wire in the 26 gauge, and 40 centimeters are more or less 12.5 inches for those of you who are not familiar with centimeters. Start off, we wrap one of the ends of the wire around the bigger ring, leaving more or less an inch from the end, and we wrap it twice. Once we're satisfied with the wrapping, we take our pliers with the flat pliers and we pull on the thread so that we tighten it nice and tight around the ring, and we try and push them together if they're not already together to create a little coil. Such as this. Let's see if it focuses. Yeah, there it goes. If you're satisfied, as I am with mine, you take your cutter and you cut it as close as possible to your ring and cut off that end. Then you take your flat pliers and you flatten against the ring. Then you switch around your wire to keep your wire on the outside of your ring. Now I'm left-handed, so I'll be going counterclockwise. If you're right-handed, you should go clockwise. So here it goes. I'll start by inserting 1 crystal on the wire, have it go down up to the ring, Here it is. Then I bend it in the direction in which I'm going to go to travel, adding the crystals. I keep it with my free hand in between thumb and index finger, and then I wrap with the other free hand the rest of the wire around it once and a half to bring it again towards the outside of the ring. And this is the first crystal added. So it's the same thing that we were doing with our earrings, if you've done them already. We will be adding in total the first 5 crystals this way. So I'll show you. Second crystal, you want them nice and tight, one next to the other. Keep the crystal in place and bend the wire around the ring with the other free hand. Pull on the wire because you want it nice and tight so that your crystals keep in place. And there's the second one. Then we add the third one. And we go around. And we pull tightly. That's the third one. And we keep going, adding another 2. And that's the fourth one. I keep pushing them together to be side by side because the 20 crystals will fit snugly around this ring. So you have to be careful to have them nice and tight as you go along. Otherwise, they're not going to all fit. And this is the 5th. There you go. Now, this is where it changes. It's one of the 2 changes from the earrings. First off, we have the jump ring that is closed, so you've seen that already. And the second one is that we're going to actually add a jump ring to the wire after our 5th crystal together with the 6th crystal. So I add them both together before I do anything else, like this. And I want the jump ring to fall in between the 2 crystals. So I want the 6th crystal to block the jump ring next to the 5th one. I keep both in place, and then the wire I wrap around just as usual, going through, around, and again through the ring to fall out on top, like this. And this is the first jump ring. It's easier to add the jump rings in this way than trying to fit them in between the crystals once you've already added them to the big ring. That's what I found. Now we have to add another 9 crystals, because the important thing that you have to understand is that you have 20 crystals around the whole ring, so you need 10 crystals on each side of the 2 jump rings that you will need on each ring. So we've added 1, we'll add another 9, and then we have to remember to add another jump ring. So add another 8 crystals, and I'll see you in a bit. So I've added, after the 6th, another 9 crystals. So in total there are 10, 3, 6, 9, and 10. After the 10th, counting from the 6th after the jump ring, so we have the first 5, the jump ring, another 10 in total. We have to add the 2nd jump ring, and together with it, a new crystal. And you have to make sure that your jump ring is in between the last crystal that you've already added and the new one, just like before. Keep them in place and wrap your wire around it. So, like that. And now, like this, we have the first 5 crystals with which we started, and 1 crystal that counts as the 6th crystal on this other side. So we have to add a total of another 4 crystals that have to fit in here. That's why, as I was saying at the beginning, it's really important you have your crystals nice and snugly next to each other. So add another 2 crystals, one at a time, obviously. 1. And 2. So I've added 3 crystals after the second jump ring. I'm adding the 4th one right now. And then we will add the 5th and last crystal to our circle. There you go, and you can see how it fits exactly in between my crystals because I've been good and I've pushed them nicely and tightly wounding them around each other and the ring and making them nice and tight. And this way, my crystal is nice and filled up. All the crystals fall nicely around each other. You can take the cutter and cut off this excess wire. Flatten the little bit of wire that you have coming off without pushing the crystals far away from each other. And that's your ring finished off. Now we have to add it to the string of rings that we already had prepared beforehand. So if you haven't, prepare another 4 rings exactly the same as the one that I've just shown you. And then you will need to connect them with a jump ring. So take one of the smaller jump rings, which will be open. You can find the kits for this necklace on our shop as usual. You can find the address on top, which is www.happybee.it. Pass the jump ring in on one side, in one jump ring of one of the rings, and then on the other. And then with your pliers, one on each side of the jump ring, close it up, going back to have the 2 ends meet. Make sure they're nice and closed, like this. And you've added your last ring to the necklace. Now, it's important that the 2 jump rings of the rings next to each other are parallel. So make sure that you are adding the jump ring in between well so that they fix together. And now we can add the chain to each side of these rings so that we can add them nicely together. And to do that, we actually go and get the jump ring on this side, the free jump ring on the side of the ring, the end ring. I'm looking for the opening in this jump ring because I don't want it to fall off. There you go, found it. So we're actually going to open it up, add the chain, and close it back up. So I've added the chain on this side of the necklace, closing back up the jump ring of the ring. Then I'm going to open up this side, the jump ring that is free on this side, with my pliers always both on each opening, and open it up. Keep the jump ring in my plier because I don't want it to come undone from the ring. Slide the first ring of one of the sides of the chain on top of my jump ring and close it back up. There you go. Now we have to just add the clasp. So I'm going to open up the small jump ring. Slide it on the end, on this end of the chain. Add the clasp as well. Close it up. Then open the bigger jump ring and add it to the other side of the chain on the other side of the necklace. Close it up. And that's done as well. And my necklace is all done, ready to wear. For today, bead friends, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. As you can see, we have 3 versions of the necklace that will be available on our shop. You can go on www.happybead.it to shop all the kits available in the necklaces. I'll probably make a few more in more fall and winter colors as they come along. These crystals are available in more than 40 colors in the shop. I'll probably leave you the link for the crystals as well directly to that page if you don't want to buy the whole kit. And as always, if you enjoyed the tutorial or if you have questions, please write a comment below. Remember to sign up to the channel by ringing the bell and click like if you like the tutorials to let me know any feedback you have on the tutorials, and I know which way to go to make you happy and make tutorials that you love. I'm making them just for you, so I hope that you like them and that you can let me know what you think about them. Also, you can follow us on social media. As on Facebook, you can find us as Happy Bead La Fabbrica delle Perline, and on Instagram you can find us as Happy Bead Milano, where you can see also a lot of other information, beady tips and such. I will be posting a picture of the necklace as worn so you can see how it falls when you have it on. So take a look and make sure to sign up to our channels as well. And until next time, take care and thank you.